Imagine the plight of the typical college-bound 18-year-old. On one hand, she is bombarded with stories and data that show college to be an increasingly poor return on investment. She's told, go to college, spend 5 years there, and when you graduate, if you graduate, you'll be rewarded with terrible job opportunities and an obscene amount of student loan debt. On the other hand, we continue to talk about college as an irreplaceable golden opportunity. College students earn more and get employed more. They have incredible experiences. So take on that debt, ignore the dire job forecasts, and push on, young explorer, even if you don't think college is right for you. While college is a must for some career paths, it's not the only way to make a living and be successful. What if college isn't right for you? Do you have real options to survive or even excel in the working world without a college degree? I say, of course you do, and I challenge you to find one that's right for you. Education is important. It's almost a must, but vocational programs are being ignored at schools all at a time when we have plumbers making up $100,000 a year, says George C. Hess III, CEO of Vantage Homes Corporation. Now, I haven't studied this topic extensively, but it's something I have paid serious attention to, as I've seen many youth and young adults flounder because they don't have a desire to go to college, but have been exposed to virtually no other option after graduating high school. This must change. Parents and students alike must explore other options. Today I want to persuade you to take careful consideration of attending a vocational or trade school, in lieu of a traditional 4-year college, by discussing 2 points. First, the shortage of skilled laborers, and second, the cost of trade school versus a 4-year college. Now let's take a look at the shortage of skilled laborers in the United States. There is a major shortage of skilled laborers in this country, and young people should be prepared to take advantage of it. Some of the various laborers or occupations which do not require a college degree are skilled laborers that have specialized training or a learned skill set to perform the work, such as in the manufacturing and construction fields, including boilermaker, electrician, plumber, machinist, welder, and carpenter. Examples outside manufacturing and construction are pilots, dental assistants, automotive repair technician, and cosmetologist. There are also middle school workers that include technical knowledge and a better than average understanding of tools and machines they will operate, while also involving a high degree of problem-solving skills. Clearly, these are not dumb or lazy people. Why is there a shortage of skilled laborers? Part of the problem is budget cuts, which have left high schools cutting their shop and vocational departments. Since high school students are not being exposed to the trades, the current skilled labor force in this area has become much older. With skilled workers getting older and fewer young people being trained to fill their shoes, we find our shortage. On a particular construction site this past summer, of the 22 construction workers, the youngest was 42 years old. Educators and parents must expose today's young people to the trades, or we won't have people to replace them. Another reason is there is massive pressure for students to go to college. It's drilled into their heads. College graduates are more financially successful, and there is social status in having a college degree. Not to mention that being a skilled laborer has a social stigma as a lower class. However, there is an enormous amount of opportunities available to skilled workers in this country. Here are just a few of the statistics of various areas of business needing skilled laborers. A survey of small business owners by U.S. Bank, 61% that said they were experiencing extreme to moderate difficulty in finding quality skilled workers in order to expand their business. 61%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey show that nearly 200,000 construction industry jobs are unfulfilled across the country at a boom time for home builders. That's a jump of 81% in just 2 years. Here are some statistics according to the National Skills Coalition. Middle skill level workers make up the largest part of the labor market in the United States. In 2015, 53% of all jobs were middle skilled. Also in 2015, there was a 10% gap between the percent of middle skilled jobs available and the percent of workers trained to fill those jobs. 53% were available compared to only 43% trained. This leaves a great deal of room to hire you if you are trained. With so much demand for skilled laborers, we might ask ourselves why so many people spend so much money on four-year institutions. Let's compare the cost of four-year institutions to trade and vocational schools. The College Board has reported the average cost of tuition and fees for the 2016-2017 school year. Remember, this is only one school year. At a private college, the price was $33,480. For state residents at a public college, the price was substantially less, at $9,650, though it costs out-of-state students to attend a public college at $24,930. But that's not all. Additional costs include room and board, books and supplies, and personal and transportation expenses. This is an additional $14,360 per year at a public school and $16,360 at a private school. Now keep in mind, these figures do not include increased costs if this education takes you longer than 4 years to get your degree, or if you have student loans, which you'll pay interest on. Now let's look at trade schools. Trade schools not only offer you an education at a fraction of the cost of a four-year college, but also in half the time, with a job market which is tailor-made for you. The average price of a trade school education is $33,000, period. This is approximately a savings of $94,000 over a college degree. In 2012, the average debt load for graduating college students was $36,327, compared to only $10,000 for trade school. Trade school programs are typically 2 years, while the National Center for Education Statistics stated that only 36% of those who started a bachelor's degree program in 2001 actually graduated in 4 years. In the construction sector of the middle skilled labor industry, 60% of contractors reported difficulty finding skilled workers in the third quarter of 2017 due to an ongoing skilled labor shortage. That's this year, folks. Again, this means jobs actually waiting for those of you who are willing to be trained. Unfortunately, Thomas J. Donahue, President and CEO of the U.S. Chamber, says, finding skilled workers remains a challenge for this industry, and it's likely to remain a challenge. Our nation must address our workforce challenges to enable the economy to grow. This means we need to educate more young people about the benefits of trade and vocational schools. There's likely to be pros and cons no matter which educational path you follow. Not every student has to be college-bound. Let me be perfectly clear, however. There is nothing wrong with going to a four-year college. As a matter of fact, we need people to do just that. We still need our doctors, lawyers, accountants, dentists, etc. Nevertheless, there's also a need for people with specific skills which are required in trade and vocational schools. It is my hope that I've given you something to consider, whether for yourself, a spouse, son, daughter, or friend. There is a major shortage of skilled laborers in this country, with jobs by the thousands waiting for people who know a trade or skill to fill them. In a relatively short amount of time, and at a fraction of the cost of a four-year college, trade and vocational schools are prepared to teach you the skills needed to fill those positions and offer a career to those of you who do not find college appealing. I challenge you to give trade and vocational skills a needed second look, or in today's society, a more serious first look.